Garza with the height advantage and the reach advantage, Wally.
Well, Loreto Garza is a lanky type of fighter. Reminds you a little bit of Mark Freeland or a young Tommy Hearns. He's one of those long arm punchers that if he gets you at the end of a punch, he can really hurt you.
We'll take a look at Garza right there, getting set for this, fighting in front of his hometown fans and needing a win to keep his title hopes alive. You see Tomas de Cruz, the only man to ever defeat Garza, and that will send it to our ring announcer, Jim Hall. Take a look at Tomas de Cruz being introduced now at 30-4, 17 career knockouts. And Wally, before you mentioned about de Cruz being on the downside of his career, why do you think so at the age of 28?
Well, he's a fighter with a lot of mileage. He was fighting 10 and 12 round fights back in 1983 when Garza was just starting out.
Introducing now in the red corner.
Announcer Jim
This young man is wearing green trunks, and he is from Sacramento. He weighs 139.5 pounds with a record of 23 wins against 1 loss and 1 draw with 21 wins by knockout. He is currently ranked the number 10 challenger in the world by the WBC. He is Loreto Garza.
And the partisan crowd here at the Radisson Center in Sacramento cheering on their hometown favorite.
I've given you part of your instructions. Do you have any last-second questions? Thomas, get a like on me.
Three knockouts that finish around.
I'll decide, okay? Buena suerte. Good luck. Come out fighting.
And that is the referee, Rudy Ortega, instructing the fighters. And the corner of Doc Cruz wanted to know about the 3 knockdown rule.
The referee said, I'll decide. I guess that means the 3 knockdown rule is not in effect.
Round number 1, scheduled for 10.
Obviously, that 3 knockdown situation in the last fight has confused a lot of people here.
Bob Papa along with Wally Matthews from Sacramento, California.
Now let's see if de Cruz is really here to win this fight, because he said in the paper today that he's improved since the last time they met, although the record doesn't show it. Knocked out by Chavez, knocked out by Barry McGuigan, knocked out in his last fight by Mickey Ward, a fight in which de Cruz went down from a body shot and then turned his back.
And Mickey Ward is a beatable fighter, and he went down very easy. His biggest win was in 1985, a decision in 10 rounds over Ruben Castillo.
And Ruben Castillo was on the way down at that point, so that's not a fight that is really the one to look at.
22 of the 26 fights for Garza's career have been in Sacramento. Wally, in this situation, a fight for Garza, he is ranked number 10 by the WBC, but with some television exposure, can this maybe help him move up the ladder?
Well, sure, because he really hasn't been seen outside of his area here. He needs, as I said, it's indispensable that he have a big win here tonight. A lot of people are going to see him. If he knocks this man out impressively, he may go on to another contender a little higher up the ladder and then eventually get a title shot. He loses here tonight and he can forget about it.
A minute and a half gone by in round number 1, scheduled for 10. Garza in the green. Got Cruz in the white.
The Cruz has had a pretty good start.
There is a lot at stake here. What is Garza missing as a fighter? Why is he so low in the rankings?
Well, the thing about Garza, he's really not missing very much. He gets hit quite a bit because of his style. You notice that he holds his hands down low, but he's a good, solid puncher. His boxing skills are adequate, if not more so. And his hand speed is okay. The thing is, he just needs to fight some tougher competition. He's never gone more than 9 rounds.
Under a minute to go in round number 1. You know, you look at these two fighters, Garza has been moved along carefully while de Cruz has been thrown again against some big hitters.
Oh, that's obvious. I mean, he was fighting 12-round bouts. He had tough fights against guys like Carlos Silva way back in 1983 when Garza was still in the preliminaries.
Under 30 seconds to go in round one.
Garza might be a little tight here. He really hasn't jabbed much. He hasn't been very active at all.
Seems to be feeling out Cruz a bit. Under 10 seconds to go in round number one. And Garza score. Back with more action after this. Spectator here at ringside, Wally.
Yes, Mr. Tony Lopez, the IBF junior lightweight champ, a big favorite here in Sacramento, his hometown. He's going to defend his title on June 18th against Tyrone, the Harlem Butcher Jackson in Tahoe.
This round number two scheduled for 10. Loreto Garza in the green, the hometown favorite. Tomas Cruz in the white. Wally, we just saw Lopez watching on to this fight. Could there be any competition since both of these guys are favorites in this area?
Well, I think that it's more of a friendship. I believe they spar together, and of course, there's no chance that they'll fight because Garza is 10 pounds heavier. Now we're starting to see what Garza wants to do. He wants to set up his man with a couple of jabs and drop that right hand. That's really his power hand. It's a straight right.
And after a feeling out process, Garza has come out. Both fighters have come out.
Oh, now that is what we wanted to see Jorge Hernandez do in the last fight. When the Cruz missed, Garza was right there to counter.
Garza with a bit more boxing power.
It should be pointed out that the Cruz's best efforts have come as a junior lightweight. In fact, his first fight as a junior welterweight was his last bout against Mickey Ward. Before that, he always fought around 129, 130 pounds.
Garza in the green, peering into the eyes of the only man who's ever beaten him.
Well, it's not exactly Joe Louis Max Schmeling, too, but I'm sure it's important to Garza. There's that right hand that Garza wants to land.
Slipping it through the defense.
When he's jabbing like that, it's very tough to beat Loreto Garza.
Just keeps on backing off Cruz. A minute to go in round number two.
Garza's the kind of fighter that other fighters like to call a freak because of his build for the weight class. You notice that he's quite a bit taller than Cruz. He's got a longer reach, and he can really keep his man at distance if he keeps that left hand going. Big right uppercut in there by Garza. This one can't last very long.
And Cruz in trouble.
I don't think we're going to see Garza let his man off the hook like we did with Bobby Nunez earlier.
30 seconds to go in round two. Garza has come on strong. Ranked number 10 by the WBC. Garza in the green, Cruz in the white. We now pause for a regional break. You're watching the Pro Boxing Tour on Sports Channel. 3 underway. Loreto Garza in the green, Tomas Cruz in the white. And after a slow round one, Garza has landed the jab effectively. He took round number two.
Well, maybe he's really exercised that mental demon of having been knocked out by Cruz, because now Garza looks like he can just do whatever he wants in this fight. So far, it seems like a simple case of two trains passing in opposite directions. Garza's on his way up, Cruz on his way down.
Garza's corner in between rounds, so just watch out for that short, straight right.
Well, Garza has a tendency to leave himself open when he starts to flurry. He's the kind of fighter you want to be inside on, because when you have a long-arm fighter like this, it's very difficult for him to punch short to the body. Their punches get smothered on the inside. Garza wants Cruz about that far away. Move.
And Cruz says nothing but the arms he loves.
I have a feeling he only fooled himself on that one. That was a good, solid right hand.
Garza very effective at slipping punches.
At times. At other times, his head is right there to be hit.
But does Cruz have enough to hit him with?
I don't think he's really carried much of a punch up to 140 pounds.
Referee is Rudy Ortega. Minute and a half gone by, and round number 3 scheduled for 10. While we're looking at Garza's career, he is 23-1-1. We said he's ranked number 10, but if there are any knocks on him, what might that be?
Well, lack of defense, obviously, because he does tend to leave himself straight up. You'll see that when he lets his punches go, his head is straight up, and he can be hit. Other than that, how can you really find a knock on a kid who's only been beaten early in his career by a much more experienced man?
You think it's affected him, the fact that he's fought almost all of his fights here in Sacramento? He's going to have to move around a bit more?
The only way we'll know that is when they take him out of here and bring him into somebody else's hometown, which is certainly what will happen if he gets the title shot.
That's the blood coming out of the right nostril of Garza.
Garza's just a more effective puncher, though, the crisper puncher on the inside. Nobody ever died of a bloody nose.
Let's see if Garza can finish off Doc Cruz. He has him rattled.
Garza took a step back there after that left hook.
Under 30 seconds to go in round 3.
Garza, 2 effective left hooks to the body.
Cruz tried to sneak in a body shot.
That was a nice left hook on the inside by Garza, which caught a lot of the Cruz's chin.
Under 10 seconds to go in round number 3. Back with more. You're watching the Pro Boxing Tour on Sports Channel. Back at the Radisson Center in Sacramento, California. Round number 4. Loreto Garza in the green, Tomas Cruz in the white. And at the end of round 3, Garza scored with a good left, Wally.
He shook the Cruz up with that punch. I can never understand why fighters shake their heads after they get hit with a good shot, which is what the Cruz is doing, because all it does is call attention to the fact that it was a good punch.
A macho type thing, so no, you didn't hurt me.
Well, they certainly don't fool their opponents, and they don't fool the judges. All they do is tell everybody in the arena, I just got hit.
Could be a psychological thing, just trying to convince yourself that no, I'm not hurt.
Well, it's very important in boxing. If you don't believe you're going to win, you will not.
And Cruz with a shot below the belt of Garza, being warned by referee Rudy Ortega.
And that was a good call because it was a solid low blow, and you've got to establish early that you're not going to tolerate that if you're going to be a good referee.
Scoring by the 10-point must system.
2 right hands. This fight is just about over.
And Cruz in trouble, and he's down. A barrage of punches from Loreto Garza.
The one that really did the damage was the second right hand. There were 2 1-2s. The second right hand was very solid.
And Cruz is in trouble, and referee Rudy Ortega stops it here in round number 4.
The Cruz looked like he wanted to continue.
But his legs are spaghetti. And Loreto Garza picks up career win number 24. 1:14 of round number 4. He puts away Tomas Cruz.
We could see that coming from the second round. As soon as Garza started to let those punches flow, in fact, in his corner.
And we'll take a look at the barrage of punches from Garza.
In his corner, and between the 3rd and 4th, they were saying as soon as you get your distance, boom, let him have a 1-2, and that's exactly what he did here. That's what hurt him, and then the rest is just follow-up.
A couple of chopping right hands started that barrage off, followed by a left, and Tomas Cruz was sent flying to the canvas.
You see that Garza has his punching distance, is in perfect position to land that right hand. And there it is.
They'll follow it up with another one. 3 rights in a row, just scored the first 2 with the most damage.
Garza's the kind of fighter that the further you are away from him, the more danger you're in.
And at this point, it was just lights out for Doc Cruz. So at 1:14 of round number 4, Loreto Garza looks to continue his climb in the junior welterweight division.
The contest is stopped at 1 minute and 14 seconds of the 4th round. The winner by knockout, Loreto Garza.
So that is knockout number 22 for Loreto Garza. He is now 24-1-1 for his